Scientists reveal how pedaling a low gear at a high cadence could waste 60% of a cyclist's energy. Pedaling fast in a low gear wastes your energy, scientists have demonstrated. When you cycle at the wrong cadence, most of your effort will go into moving your legs up and down, not moving the bike forward. If a recreational cyclist tries to copy the high cadence of a pro but, instead of turning big gears, they ride a low gear, they can waste 60% of their energy, says Dr Federico, senior research fellow in physiology at the University of Oxford. Greater than how to ride with a power meter. Regular cyclists tend to save their energy instinctively by choosing the most comfortable gears, but some clever experiments by Formenti and his colleagues have now revealed why. They recruited 10 volunteers and measured their oxygen consumption while pedaling on an exercise bike, a cycle ergometer, to reveal the power they put into the stationary bike. At the same time, the scientists also took a 3D infrared video of the riders, to calculate how much power the lab rats were using to move their legs. Watch 3 steps to perfect gear changes at a low exercise intensity of 50 W. They found that pedaling in a small gear at 110 revolutions per minute put more than 60% of their power into moving parts of their own body, including thighs, knees and feet, while only 40% of it actually went into spinning the cranks. It was a massively inefficient way to ride. At this low intensity of 50 W, it really is very gentle riding, say down a slight gradient or on the flat with the wind behind you, says Dr. Formenti, who cycles to work daily. In contrast, Chris Froome had a cadence of 97 revolutions per minute on the climb up La Pierre Saint-Martin in his Stage 10 victory of the Tour de France 2015, where he set up his second yellow jersey. He was, though, putting out about 390 W through his 52-38 skiing, a far cry from a leisurely roll. Physiologists know that muscle efficiency all comes down to the speed at which your muscles can contract. If you choose a gear and cadence that allows your muscles to contract at 1/3 of their maximum velocity, you'll maximize your power output. The pedaling efficiency evidence from Formenti's team was actually part of more significant research that could improve how sports scientists estimate energy consumption on stationary cycle ergometers. Pro cyclists predict their performance with such tests, so if they are made more accurate, they could help them ride faster. But these tests have to rely on a limited set of measurements from a rider, and they're put into an equation to estimate their oxygen uptake, VO2, because it's an indication of how well their body is performing. It's not feasible to measure directly how much fuel your body uses in exercise, so oxygen uptake, VO2, is a good indicator, says Formenti. The conventional equation for doing this is from the American College of Sports Medicine, and it includes body mass and external work rate. Perhaps surprisingly for a test done on a bicycle ergometer, the equation ignores pedaling rate. Formenti's team ran its experiments and has shown that, by adding pedaling rate, they can now improve its accuracy of the equation at predicting how well a rider performs when they are working just a little below his or her VO2 maximum. We conclude that pedaling rate is an important determinant of human VO2 during cycling exercise, and it should be considered when predicting oxygen consumption, says Dr. Formenti. In some ways, it's yet another case of science explaining what cyclists have learned from experience. Cyclists and coaches are well aware of the importance of pedaling rate in cycling, says Professor Lewis Passfield of the University of Kent, who was British cycling's lead scientist in preparation for the Barcelona, Atlanta and Beijing Olympics. Greater than body imbalance. Are you pedaling asymmetrically? Both riders and coaches, and cyclists spend some time manipulating their cadence in order to maximize their training effects, says Professor Passfield. Chris Froome on Stage 8 of the 2017 Tour de France. Photo, use or Sonata. As scientists, we are struggling to explain the underlying mechanisms for how it makes a difference. It's all the more challenging as pedaling a bike seems a relatively straightforward task when taken at face value, Passfield added. A significant mystery still remains to be solved by science, he says. Cyclists do not, in practice, choose to pedal at the cadences that scientists find to be the most economical in terms of oxygen cost. Instead, they choose to pedal notably faster than this, says Professor Passfield. So more studies are needed to find out why cyclists prefer slightly higher cadence than current scientific knowledge says is the most energy efficient. One thing is for sure, though, no pro is going to waste any energy by pedaling quickly in a low gear. Pedaling rate is an important determinant of human oxygen uptake during exercise on the cycle ergometer, by Federico Formenti, Alberto E. Minetti, Fabio Borani, was published on September 14, 2015 in Physiological Reports, Volume 3, Issue 7, E12500, pp.1-10. This article was originally published in 2015.